Good morning, Kip One Primary. This is Mr. Jennings, and this is the start of our excellence class. Let's see what we can learn this week. Just like we do with every lesson, we're going to start off with our hope values. Our hope values are honor, optimism, perseverance, enthusiasm, and we do everything with love on our minds. Honor. Honor means showing integrity, telling the truth, being honest, doing the right thing even when no one is looking, being responsible for your actions, respecting ourselves, others, our community, and the space around us. Finally, honor is being ready to learn at all times. Honor. We're going to read this passage together. I show honor to myself by loving who I am and working hard every day. I show honor to my family by being the best person I can be. And when I make a mistake, I try to fix it. I show honor to my school by listening to my teachers and helping my teammates. So one thing it says in there is making mistakes. So if you make a mistake, it's okay. We need to try our best as a team to figure out ways that we can fix it. Everyone makes mistakes. This week, we're going to be learning about the solar system. So the solar system is comprised of 8 planets and the sun. Well, our solar system does. So we're going to be seeing different planets, seeing some different facts about those planets, and then seeing how our solar system moves. Learning objectives. In this lesson, Kipsters will be able to learn the planets in the solar system. Kipsters will be able to make a solar system, and Kipsters will also be able to learn what planet we are from the sun. Big questions in this lesson. Our big questions are questions that you should be able to answer by the end of our lesson. What number of planet are we in the solar system, which is the planet Earth? And how many planets are in the solar system altogether? We live on planet Earth. However, we aren't the only planet inside of our solar system. And so we're going to learn about those different planets. Think of them kind of like our neighbors. So you live in your house, but there's people who live around your house. So those are our neighbors. So we have neighbors in our solar system as well. First thing we're going to talk about is our biggest neighbor that we see a lot throughout the year, even though we don't see those planets, is the sun. The sun gives us heat on our planet. So the sun is at the center of the solar system. So right here we have the sun in the center of the solar system. The sun is 4.6 billion years old. It is very hot, more than 6,000 degrees Celsius on the surface and even hotter in the middle. So some people even say once you get deeper and deeper, it gets millions and millions of degrees hotter inside of the sun. So it's super hot. No one can go to or really close to the sun ever. Let's talk about the first planet away from the sun. The first planet is Mercury. Everybody say Mercury. Here we have a picture of Mercury. Mercury is the first planet in our solar system and the closest to the sun. It is the smallest planet. 1 year on Mercury is 88 days. So it takes 88 days for the planet Mercury to go around the sun, which is about 3 months. It has 0 moon. So we have 1 moon that we know. We see that moon most of the time at night. Mercury has no moon. No evidence for life has been found on Mercury. Daytime temperatures can equal up to 800 degrees. So because it's the first planet next to the sun, it is super high. That's why no one can live there. So it gets up to 800 degrees. The second planet, Venus. Venus is the second planet away from the sun. The surface, the planet roasts at more than 800 degrees. So just like Mercury, it's still super hot. It has also 0 moons, just like Mercury as well. So Venus is the second planet away from the sun and also super hot. And so no one can live on Venus as well. So this is why we are living on Earth. Not a lot of planets are able to house us because it's either too hot, too cold, no oxygen, or different things that can really, really hurt us that stops us from living on different planets. Our planet. Well, who can tell me the name of this planet? Very good. Earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun. It has 1 moon. It can and does have life. Life is living things like you and I. We are living things and we live on the planet Earth. The coldest temperature on planet Earth is 126 degrees. So this is the coldest temperature that they've ever seen on Earth was 126 degrees in Antarctica many, many years ago. And the hottest temperature that has been on Earth is 136 degrees. And these two weathers, people can really be hurt as well. So it tells if it's 800 degrees on Mercury and Venus, and the hottest we've ever seen is 126, that tells you just how hot that Mercury and Venus can be. So if you ever went outside and like, whoa, it's so hot, I need to go back in the house. And Mercury and Venus, that wouldn't even be a thing because you wouldn't even be able to go outside so hot. Like your house would probably just burn up instantly. The fourth planet is Mars. Mars is sometimes called the red planet. Right here, there's such a, it probably looks like oranges, but it's called the red planet. There is oxygen on Mars, very little, and Mars has two moons. So they say billions and billions of years ago, about 3.6 billion years ago, they think that it was life on Mars. And now we think that like if there's some type of system where that can help us breathe, that we might be able to live on Mars one day too. Obviously, we don't know if that'll ever happen, but right now there is no life that we have found on Mars. Jupiter. Everybody say Jupiter. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the sun. It is the biggest planet in our solar system. Jupiter has 79 confirmed moons. It takes 12 of our years for Jupiter to orbit the sun. When I say orbit, that means go around the sun. So when I say orbit, it means to go around the sun. It takes the planet Jupiter 70, sorry, takes the planet Jupiter 12 years to go around the sun one time. So think about your birthdays. It takes 1 year or 365 days for your birthday to come around. Think if it took you 12 years for you to get one birthday. So every 12 years, your birthday would go up. You would have a birthday. So that's how long it takes for Jupiter to go around the sun or orbit the sun. Saturn. Everybody say Saturn. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun. It is the second largest planet in the solar system. It has rings around it, so it's sometimes known as the ring planet. We can see these rings here. It says that it has like dust and ice. It takes 29 years for Saturn to orbit the sun. So 29 years equals one Earth year. So this is even worse than those 12 years. Think if it took you 29 years just to have one birthday. Every 29 years, you would have one birthday. You would be almost 30 years old in Earth years, but only 1 year old if you lived on Saturn. Uranus. Uranus is the seventh planet from the sun. Uranus talks about its temperature being super cold, about negative 371 degrees. So think about like one time you went outside and you're like, "Ooh, it's ice cold out here." It is even colder in Uranus, almost 3 to 4 times more colder than any weather that we've ever seen on Earth, which we talked about before, and we haven't even seen that in our lifetimes. So it's been like it's super cold on Uranus. So if you go there, you would instantly turn into like a popsicle. Uranus has 27 moons, and it takes 84 years for one Earth year. So think about if you were 84 years old and someone said, "Hey, even though you're 84 years old, you're only 1 year old on Uranus." So that's how long it takes for Uranus to go around the sun, to orbit the sun. So it takes a long time, as you see. The eighth planet and the last planet is Neptune. Everybody say Neptune. Neptune has 14 moons. It is God gets to negative 392 degrees, so that's even colder than Uranus. So it's even colder on Neptune, and that's because it's the furthest away from the sun. It is the coldest planet in the solar system. We learned that the sun is the center of our solar system. Mercury, this like pretty color, reddish, orangish, bluish planet. It is the first planet. It is the first planet in our solar system. The second planet is like a grayish, pinkish color. This is Venus. This is the second planet. The third planet filled with water, green, blue, and white, Earth. The fourth planet, Mars, also known as the red planet, that reddish orange color. Jupiter, that brownish kind of orangish color, is the fifth planet from the sun. The sixth planet, filled with gases and dirt and sand, that's what it looks like that tannish, sandish color, which is Saturn. Uranus, which is one of the coldest planets, which shows why it looks so purplish blue, because it is so cold there. And it also, it doesn't rotate how we say Earth rotates, which is kind of like this. It rotates like this, like a rolling ball. And it's like that purplish bluish color because it's so cold. And another even colder planet, which is the eighth planet in the solar system, is Neptune. And it looks cold from that bluish purplish color that we see here. All right, reporting to you guys from Mr. Jen's living room. So what we're going to do is create a solar system. So right here I have my markers, and we're going to start creating our solar system. So right in the middle of the solar system is our sun. So first thing I'm going to do is make our sun. I'm making my sun with the color yellow. I'll use a little orange just to make it real hot. I'm gonna label it there, sun. So first thing is at the center of our solar system is the sun. Next, what I'm going to do is do our first layered line, a circle around the solar system. And who remembers the first planet that was that is by the sun? The first planet that we talked about, Mercury. So what we're going to do is draw Mercury. So to do that, I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to use first. Yeah, I'll use orange. Use orange. Mercury's kind of small. I'll put an M for Mercury. I'll use some different colors. From my picture, we see some different colors in Mercury. It was kind of like shiny with red, little orange, sparkling blues. I'm gonna even use yellow, all right? And Mercury is one of the hottest planets. Next, we're gonna go to the second planet away from the sun. So we're gonna do another circle. This is our orbit. On that orbit, who could tell me what is the next planet that we're going to draw? Venus. Yep, we're gonna draw Venus. So same way, we're gonna start with a circle, which is our orbit. I'll use a yellow, and it's a little bigger. Use yellow. I'm going to use other hot colors like red, orange, and yellow. It's very hot here, so I'm going to use hot colors. And I want to make a V for Venus. Our next planet that we're going to look at is the planet that we live on. Who remembers the planet that we live on? Planet that we live on is Earth. Very good. So we're going to draw Earth. I'll use blue for Earth. Make it a little bigger. It's a lot of water on Earth. I'm going to make my water here. And there's a lot of land, and on that land, green. All right, Mr. Jennings isn't the best drawing colorer, but looks pretty good, I think. And I'm going to draw a E for Earth. Next, we're going to make our next orbit. All right, running out of space a little bit here. Now, next planet on the orbit is what we call the red planet. So I'm just going to use red for this planet. And who remembers the name of that planet?
Mars. Very good. Just gonna use red. I'm gonna title that Mars. Super easy. I'll put an M for Mars. Mars. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of our planets. Still 4 more to go. Mr. Jennings is already running out of room, so I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter. All right, 5th planet. Who remembers what is the name of the 5th planet from the sun? Starts with a J. J. Jupiter. Very good. So we're going to draw Jupiter. And Jupiter was like a tannish color. I don't have tan, but I'll use a gray, usually like real light. It's super big on Jupiter. I'm going to just draw some lines in it. Jupiter has those lines. I'll use orange really lightly. So this tells me you don't need like the colors that you actually see. Just gonna use the colors that you have and just label those things. So here I have Jupiter, and Jupiter starts with the letter J. So I'm gonna put a J here. And let's move on to the next planet. We have 5 out of the 8 of our planets in our solar system. All right, here we go. We're at number 6. Who remembers the name of the 6th planet? The name of the 6th planet. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. Has a ring around it. What is the name of it? Also called the ring planet. Saturn. Very good. So we're going to draw Saturn next. And Saturn has that ring around it. So that was what we're going to use to push our drawing. So I'm going to draw it on this end here. I'm going to use a yellow, I guess. You can use whatever color you have. It's really big on the draw. So first I'm going to draw the planet, which is a circle. I'll use the gray in different colors, kind of like that Jupiter where you have like different stringed lines in it. Maybe have some orange in between them. And then the most important thing that you need to have is that ring around it. So to make a ring, I'm just gonna make a ring around it, 360. And then I'm going to color that ring with gray. I know this took up a lot of our space. We'll be fine. And Saturn starts with an S, so here I'm going to put an S. Good, so we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. The next one is Uranus. So I'm gonna make our orbit here. Again, we don't have that much space. And remember, Uranus is one of those colder planets. So I'm gonna use, and it's super big. So I'll draw it over here. No, I'm not gonna draw it about here. And it's super big, so I drew it big. And I'll use that blue. And I'm gonna also use some purple. I know these colorings isn't as good as Miss Weldon's, but it's getting the job done. All right, super big. And we're gonna put a U here for Uranus. And then our last planet is who remembers the last planet? Neptune. Very good. I'm gonna do Neptune the same way. It's also super big planet. I'll do it over here, and this should be on the last circle. I'll do it big over here. All right. Gonna use those same purple blue and purple. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just needs to follow the right pattern and naming conventions, meaning the right names of the different planets. All right, and then we're gonna put a big E in here for Neptune. And this is our solar system. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. I hope that you guys were drawing and coloring just as Mr. Jennings was, even better or just as best as you can do.
Objectives. In this lesson, kids were able to learn the different planets that are in the solar system. They were able to make a solar system. And they were also able to learn what planet we are from the sun. Who could tell me what planet we are from the sun? Good. 3. We are the 3rd planet away from the sun. Send in your notes. So this is my email, cjennings@kipchicago.org. What you can do is send in your solar systems like we created together. Catch you guys next week.